Hey friends, this is going to be a very quick video for our kindergarten through first grade team, our kindergarten through fourth grade team for September week 4. All month long, we've been learning the virtue of friendship, using your words and actions to show others you care. Hi, look, I've actually showered. It's very exciting. Our memory verse for the month is a friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. Proverbs 17:17. And this week, we got to flip our thing around here. We're finishing up in the book of Colossians, where Paul wrote, "Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you are holding something against someone. Forgive just as the Lord forgave you." Forgiveness is a big part of growing friendships. Through this verse, we learn that because God forgave us, we can forgive others when they mess up, especially the people we consider our friends. So the bottom line for the week, friends forgive one another. As kids learn about God's incredible forgiveness through Jesus, we hope that they will start to understand more about how they can forgive their own friends. It's not just about accepting an apology and saying everything's all right. We pray that kids will understand how they can forgive others and work to rebuild a friendship that is worth saving. Hold on, though. All right, so jumping into our leader guide, just make sure that you are to your room by 8:20 and 10:20 so that you can get checked in. Kids will start to roll in at 8:30 and 10:30. They can play with toys on the carpet, or they can work on their coloring page for the week. When service starts at 8:45 and 10:45, sorry, I forgot to change that, they're going to play just regular old telephone. And you can close by saying, it's interesting to hear how the message changed from the beginning to the end. Isn't it amazing how much a message can change just a little at a time until it's totally different? That can sometimes happen to us too. Sometimes we hear something about someone and it gets passed along and changed on the way. Well, today we're going to hear how important it is to be reminded of what's true when it comes to another person. Then at 8:55 and 10:55, you'll head across the hall to large group. When you get back, you can pass out snacks. And as kids are sitting together eating a snack, make sure that you introduce yourself and that kids know your name. You can ask kids for prayer requests or praises. And then you're going to have one kid stand up to be the volunteer. And you can have them ask another kid in the group, "Will you forgive me?" And have that kid say no. And then give the kid who asked for forgiveness a Bible to hold. Have them ask another child, "Will you forgive me?" They say no. Give them another Bible to hold. Do that one more time. "Will you forgive me?" Say no, and have them hold another Bible. So then at this point, their weight is really heavy. And so now have them ask the next child, and the next child will say, "I forgive you," and you can take all the weight off. And then you're just going to close in prayer, just talking about choosing not to forgive is like carrying a heavy weight, and it's not fun. And God tells us to forgive each other. And I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I will post it so you guys can read it, and then you can pray about forgiveness. Then for the memory verse activity, practice the memory verse a few times. Show kids how to look up Proverbs 17:17 in their Bible. Invite kids to recite the verse from memory. See if anybody can. And then you're going to stand in a circle and have kids play keep the balloon. I don't know, keepy uppy. I don't know what you call it. Keep the balloon off the floor. Okay, thank you. And they're going to say a word from the memory verse each time the balloon is tapped. You could, You can make a rule that the balloon can't be tapped twice in a row by the same kid. And then to make the game more challenging, you could have the kids spread out and just try to repeat the memory verse as many times as you can. Then the final activity, kids are going to make friendship bracelets. So what we've got is we've got these cool little things here where you just kind of unscrew them and then they can just thread the beads on. And you've got 3 different color beads, yellow, red, and blue. I don't have any extras in the office, but there should be enough between all of the rooms for all the kids. So if you're running out, you might have to go to a different room and see what they have. So tell kids they can pick 10 beads to put on their bracelet. They need to have at least 1 bead of each color. And you're going to explain that red represents promises. Good friends keep their promises. Yellow represents encouragement. Good friends stand up for one another. And blue represents forgiveness. Good friends forgive each other. So then as they're making their bracelet, you can kind of be reading this to them, and I'll post this so you guys can read through it, and they can take their bracelets home. And then finally, some discussion questions. Have you ever had to forgive someone? Why is it sometimes difficult to forgive? Why is forgiveness important? How has God forgiven us? And do you think things would be different if God didn't forgive us when we mess up? Great lesson. Forgiveness is such a huge part of life and friendship. So thank you guys so much for being here this Sunday to teach kids that. I'm so, so grateful for each and every one of you, and we'll see you then.